wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. I'm attorney Gavin Richard. I grew up here in New Orleans, so I know how important family, friends, and community are to us. And helping others has been a lifelong passion of mine. If you've been injured in an accident, you may be out of work and faced with large medical bills. You'll need someone to fight the insurance companies so that you can get on with your life. Give me a call at 504-799-2288, and I'll be with you all the way. The law offices of Gavin M. Richard, going the distance so that justice may be served. Hi, I'm attorney Gavin M. Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jell-O, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both of the trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format. whoever you are, wherever you are. Hope you're blessed and tuning safe. The place to be is right here with me. It is Random Topic Tuesdays, only on channel Dboot 2786. And this is Gavin Richard with Gavin Richard Presents. Ladies and gentlemen, we will discuss the following topics. Kyle Rittenhouse trial begins as of today. Opening arguments were made. We'll also be discussing the 2021 election day, which is today, Tuesday. And finally, how they trick us. Now, if you're new to this channel, I would like for you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that notification when we go live. We do this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. If you would like to advertise, as you saw in our previous banner, if you would like to advertise with the channel, you can hit me up for the email for rates. You can also check out the Patreon as another way to support me and check out exclusive content. When I upload exclusive content, you'll get it there. Stuff that's not found on YouTube. And also, if you could, you can check out my seasoning company, Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawny's goes great with every dish. And then we also have our music. I have, of course, Video Soul, which is available on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon. Please check that out. That's my new release. I'm also working on some other new music. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we always start the show with Gotta Get On Up, which is my first single and the theme song to the show. So, without further ado, after Gotta Get On Up, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin our topics for discussion. We are live, and I am coming at you with 5.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the 4 corners. Electric slide on. Hit the bus stop. I'll do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so If you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
And move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up,
Baby, yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby.
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor, get on up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Gavin Reshaw Presents here on channel GBoo2786 on Gavin Reshaw, my backup channel here on YouTube, as well as Periscope on Gav M Rich 2786 if you're watching via Twitter, or Gavin Reshaw via Facebook. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Shout out all the people in the room. Bishop Scott, Kid Gravity Beyond, what's going on? Thank you. Darius from Atlanta, my brother, how you doing? Get on up. All right. And Kruma Toure says, cool song. Yes, brother, it is a cool song. Buy it. If it's that cool, please buy it. Don't just stream it, buy it. I know I play it all the time here, but support, please buy it, because you know what happens. It's better, you know, the music industry. I'll just tell you this about music from what I've read and what I know. The music industry has changed, as most of you probably may even have a clue of, drastically in recent times, because everything is digital now. So how people make money from it basically is off of the mechanical royalties. Every time a song is played, every time somebody buys it, you know, the music publishers who publish it, because I own the publishing to it, you know, it's published through my company, my publishing company, you know, that's helpful. But you know, of course, if you had someone like Charlie Wilson or Ron Isley who could take this song, who's known and would make, obviously sell a few 100,000 records from it, I would do just fine or better. Bookie the Realist is out there. So y'all, please buy it. I appreciate you all. You saw the trailer for my book, and Knight Rider says definitely got to get that book. I'm going to let you all know when it will be available. Again, we're still through the legal process at this point. So before it's when it's, I will make it, and it's good that it's going to be on Amazon, because you can just go ahead and download that and check it out. That will be great. But I will let everybody know when it is available for sure. The date that it becomes available, because I'm kind of going on a tour now, virtual tour, be that as it may, promoting it. We're going to be on some shows really soon, and I'll keep you abreast of that. I think I'll have some stuff finalized by closer to the weekend, what days I'm going to be on certain live streams and broadcasts, and you all will be able to check all of that out. What's up, some chick named Star? Garrick asked me, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, DK Metcalf is the wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, and I saw that this IG model was trying to get him to join, wanted her to be part of a foursome that he was having, and he shot her the fuck down like a kamikaze at Pearl Harbor. And Dory Miller was doing the shooting. He shot her down like Dory Miller, and she didn't like it and started putting him on blast and releasing all the IG messages and so forth. You got to be careful. Brothers got to be real careful about who they mess with, especially online. Like they say, don't trust anybody you meet on the internet. You know, it's the same thing when we were kids. Never talk to strangers. Now, it's different when you're an adult, but obviously, when you are a person like a DK Metcalf, who is a star athlete, uh, a professional football star, a professional athlete, you know, af- we know that women are always looking for a come up. Brittany Renner. And speaking of which, I got to talk about that in a second. But did y'all see DJ Academics? Oh my God, his interview with Brittany Renner. Hold on, I'm gonna pull that up for a second.
That's the side chick. Sorry.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up for a second. But this made my. I watched this take place. Now you all know who Brittany Renner is, I'm sure, out there on the internet. She's basically known for being she sleeps around with these athletes and basically she's a gold digger. Short story, to make a long story short. And she put a whole book about her body count that came out. And she is PJ Washington's, I guess you're going to say ex, or if you use the terms baby mama. I try to stay, I don't try and say those terms too much like baby mama and stuff like that. But essentially, that's what happened. And she was on Academics broadcast talking about, obviously, he brought up PJ Washington and how people viewed her as a predator. But this is what happened, because it got to the point about talking about what makes a woman a side chick, what makes her a side chick. And this is what she had to say.
A side chick. Because what? I'm beautiful. And
no, because the one who everybody fucks with doesn't win. That's a side chick. Sorry.
So whoever been side chick?
You wrote a fucking book.
Whoever been side chick, I was never a side chick.
Well, when you write a book about having casual sex, and by the way, not one of them claims. We assume you know why men don't claim women? Because we have a real girl that we don't want to tell about. You know that.
What makes me a side chick? Because what? I'm beautiful. And
no, because the one who everybody fucks with doesn't win. That's the side chick.
Please.
Sorry.
So whoever been side chick?
You wrote a fucking book.
Whoever been a side chick, but I was never a side chick.
Well, when you write a book about having casual sex, and by the way, not one of them claims. We assume you know why men don't claim women? Because we have a real girl that we don't want to tell. You know that.
Woo! A side chick.
Burning her.
Because what? I'm beautiful.
Burning her. I gotta stop now. 1.3 million views. 1.3 million saw that. Look at this. Even the white girl had to get in on it. Lee Santos said the girl needs a reality check. A side chick is also known as the butt slice. It's the part of the loaf of bread that everyone has touched but no one wants to eat. Don't be a butt slice. Damn. Damn. And this dude says, I'm probably going to be the only guy that agrees with her. AK really said, this is probably how he talks. AK really said nothing in there that didn't strengthen what she was saying. And they lit him up. She not going to fuck you, bro. She ain't even have a response. He's screaming, pick me, pick me. Look, I'm not going to try to knock this brother, but I don't think he knows who Brittany Renner truly is. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But if y'all go and watch that DJ Academics interview, they really went in on everything, and she got really defensive when he brought up PJ Washington shit. But man, you got to be careful about who you put your seed in. Yeah, just like Jada Pinkett. Just like Jada Pinkett, man. There's no way. Is Will Smith a simp? I'm trying to be respectful to Will because he seems like a nice guy. But there's no way. I'm gonna save the talk about Jada and Will later this week because we know we have Sean James coming on. But I mean, people have been roasting her. And when women, especially black women, don't defend you, uh, when they don't defend you, you in trouble. When women don't defend you, I mean, women in general, but especially sisters defending another black woman, because they know what she did was foul. You don't put your business out there on the streets, talk about who you messed with, that you had an entanglement with your son's friend, and bringing your brother. Damn, man, I'm looking at this. I just clicked on this picture, but on Bravo TV says Jada used to date Carlton. What? What? Look at this. I got to get into other topics, guys, because honestly, this is not going to be a long show. But look at this. But she said she went on a date with him once. So she did a red table talk where her and her mother, Adrian Pinkett, were talking that she dated Alfonso Ribeiro once. And she said she went to the audition where she saw Will when she was 19. And they told me that she was too short because she was actually going to be they were looking for her to play Lisa, I believe, on The Fresh Prince as his girlfriend, and Nia Long had that. But this people have just been roasting it. Will Smith. I remember this, and I'll say this about Will. If y'all remember, Will Smith actually dated Pepper from Salt and Pepper back in the 80s, and Salt. No, I said Salt. Excuse me. He dated Pepper. Excuse me. And Pepper did not went with Tretch. She married Tretch, remember, and had a son by him. And there was I've seen this meme going around, but how years later Pepper regretted not going out with Will because Will was a nice guy. And I remember even as a kid, when I was growing up, I was not a thug, as you probably can tell. I was not. I was a bookworm. I was smart. I went to school. I had my head on straight, never got in trouble. And a lot of the girls that were coming up that I remember, girls my age, they were into hood niggas. They would have been into people like Tupac. Sorry, Bishop Scott, I know you're watching and probably don't like hearing this language, but yeah, they didn't like that. And something, and for years I always thought something was wrong with me because I didn't get the girls that I wanted or the girls that liked me, because they would always be into the thuggish guy, dark skin guy. Nothing against, and I'm not saying that to be ugly or say anything against dark. No, that's not what I mean by that. But as a kid growing up, especially, and I saw some of this, especially having, a fair skinned father and so forth. There were a lot of people who thought that I was too bougie. There were people that thought, I wouldn't say not black enough. No, that wasn't that, but it was more of the fact that they thought I was a nerd. I wasn't worthy. But now that I'm a lawyer, now that I'm successful, now that I have, I guess I could say I have money. But I'm, an entrepreneur. I've been pushing myself. You know, These girls have been passed around. I see them passed around with 2, 3 kids on their hand and on their shoulders, trying to holler at me. Oh, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. I noticed that when I was in law school, the girls that wouldn't mess with me. Exactly. Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all want me. Oh, Knight Rider, please don't say that. It wasn't that. I wasn't that heartbroken to get turned out. Fuck no. Oh hell no. Uh-uh. No. I love pussy, and it didn't. I'm sorry again, Bishop. It didn't matter if it was black. It didn't matter to me. I prefer black women, but if it was black, white, Hispanic, I messed with it. I messed with it. I love girls, but a lot of these women, yeah, they hoard out that cooch looked like a Cheerio that's been in the milk for a week. It just that gum that's stuck on under the desk of the student desk and get hard. That's what that is. That this stretched out. I'm sorry, Bishop Scott. I know he's hearing this and shaking his head. I don't care. I'm talking my shit. But that's the type of stuff I dealt with. And that's not to cooch smell like Funyuns. Yeah. Oh, I could kill it. Maybe if I'm running for political office, we know that this video that's gonna kill my chances. But then again, Donald Trump talked all his shit and changed all that, so it shouldn't kill anything for me. If Trump could say what he said, so could I. But this is the type of stuff. First Amendment. But no, I'm speaking truth because this is the stuff I dealt with as a kid. And let me be clear, I'm not trying to shame single mothers or women that I have not met. I'm only speaking from my personal experience of what I dealt with and what I've noticed, especially when I was coming out of law school, the girls that were not attracted to me, especially initially when I was coming up through high school and even in parts of college, they started looking for me once I got out of law school or once I was in law school. Like I never forget, one of my colleagues told me, he said, watch when you get out of your 3rd year in law school, what's going to happen. The girl, I said, what do you mean? The girls that, didn't want to be bothered you, especially when we have 3 years that you serve in law school. They call you 1L, 2L, 3L. But the girls that wanted nothing to do with you then, notice they're going to try and come holler at you later. Sure enough, I had girls that, wouldn't even pay any attention to me that started talking to me a little bit more. And I noticed that. And you'll notice those things, especially you get to see things now since you're getting older. I'm getting older, but I'm still young. I am still young, and I will forever be young at heart. That I will, oh, look, Bishop Scott said, oh, virgin ears. No, but I'm sorry, Bishop, but that's the stuff I experienced. I had, and not just me, my brother too. My brother, would have girls he would go out with, that he went out with. One girl at home, I won't name the person, but she went to homecoming with him, wouldn't take pictures. And when he's walking around to find her, she's in the booth taking a picture by herself, like she wanted nothing to do with him. I probably shouldn't have mentioned it, but I'm gonna speak my truth. I'm gonna say what it is. Plus, he's not watching the show. But anyway, we're gonna move on a little bit. I appreciate it, Lamiko. Thank you. Yeah. Speaking of comedy show, I had my comedy show Thursday of last weekend. There were about out of a room of 50 people, there were about 4 people that were there. I don't know, man. That show, look, shout out to Lex Place because she's given me a chance to shine. Only thing is, a lot of people haven't seen me shine. Went out there, but I wasn't the only one there. It was a group of us. It was talent show night, and it was on Thursday out in Baton Rouge, and uh, the place, especially doing that, it was a fair. They had a lot of stuff going on in Baton Rouge, like this fair that was going on and so forth. Uh, it wasn't too crowded, but I still did my thing. It was fire. Uh, I enjoyed my time there. Shout out to her for putting the show together. But yeah, and I tell you, if I ever get to travel, especially to different comedy clubs, and we got new comedy club that opened up in Baton Rouge. Said he said has this place called the Silly Rabbit Comedy Club, a black-owned establishment that's set to, I guess, have some shows. I that I certainly would love to do. We also have Comedy House No Letters here. I want to open my own comedy club. Why not? That's my goal. I'm gonna open up one here in New Orleans. I want to put one in the East, but that stuff that takes money too. But nevertheless, I want to do it. So I'm gonna try and do it. Well, you know what? Let me rephrase. I ain't gonna try. I will. It's gonna happen one day. So that's why I'm trying to become a millionaire. If I hit a lick, as Brother Zoe Williams would say, when I hit this lick of a PI case, you're gonna see me in these doing this stuff. So all comedians have humble. Oh, absolutely. Well, maybe not all of them, because they got some comedians. Let me just tell you this: they have some comedians who are not that who get where they are. The people that you see now, who I don't know what humble beginnings, like Amy Schumer, or I don't know too much about her, but I'll put it this way: the most funny comedians that you'll see in America are the ones you don't see. And by that I mean, if you don't see comedians on television, that's normally because they don't know that right person, or they don't have ties with somebody. Because the comedian that you see making, like Amy Schumer, and I don't know who the host of this late night show on NBC is, but I saw her. She's an Indian one girl, but gosh, she was not funny at all. Best comedian I ever saw perform comedy. I'm talking about, from what I saw, was a guy named Ron Ramey. Ron Ramey was, you guys, some of you probably would never have even heard of him, but this was a man that wrote for In Living Color. He passed away about 10 years ago. May rest in peace. He was also a lawyer. But Ron Ramey was the writer for In Living Color on the Bernie Mac show. He did a whole bunch of stuff. And you never heard of him. Never heard of him. Who's the host of the... I mean, look at Amy Schumer. A lot of people don't think Amy Schumer is funny. Is it Lily Singh? Yeah. I mean, look, they were even, Lily Singh. I couldn't, people who get on YouTube and become popular, they will get they get the big deals. Carver Theater, they still do comedy shows. They do shows. I think the issue though is the COVID-19. So they're starting to do shows back though. But they still got to follow the COVID-19 regulations. So yeah, Lily Singh. Oh my God, I saw a video where we were talking about her and Saturday Night Live and how the ratings for these shows, especially SNL, has plummeted, and it's actually got the lowest rating in 35 years. Yes, Darius, that's her. So this is her. I'm trying to be respectful, but I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. In 2019, she came out as bisexual to the public. Oh, that's why. We got an answer. No, I'm not going to. I don't know if I want to go there, man. They'll say I'm bullying if I say that, but yeah, I don't know. I've maybe watched it once and I didn't see what the point is. It's just like those dudes, Deuces and Horeo, whoever is Deuces, Horeo, whatever their name is. What's the ones on Showtime? Oh. Hold on a second. I can't. Deuces and Mero. Yeah, whatever their name. Yeah, Lord. This is the new face of comedy. Okay. Yeah, she began on YouTube, but Deuces and Mero on Showtime, and I kind of got a vibe from them. Yeah, that I heard their boxing commentary and stuff. I thought they were corny, but that's me. I mean, look, I wish them the best of luck. It's not easy to make money in this business, but it is what it is. Same thing with Miss Singh, but I watch their stuff. I'm just not a fan of it. That's me personally. It's like some people may not be a fan of my work. That's fine. There are people who didn't like Richard Pryor. There are people who didn't like Eddie Murphy. There are people that didn't like Bill Cosby. They didn't think he was black enough. They didn't think they had issues with Richard and the N-word and what he said. So people will have something that they don't like. Me personally, one of my favorite comedians of all time was a white boy named George Carlin. Bad dude. George Carlin was bad. I mean, and he would have attacked this cancel culture like you're seeing Dave Chappelle, probably even better than Dave Chappelle could. Well, I don't watch him, Black Voltron. What's up, man? I do not watch him. But let's go ahead, guys. Let's get into it because we spent a lot of time talking. So I wanted to start, I guess we could start with this, with the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, which began today. So earlier today, were opening arguments in the Kyle Rittenhouse case matter. And we're going to listen to some of those opening arguments right now. I'm going to play for you this video. This is coming courtesy of, I believe this is Washington Post. This is the District 80A District Attorney.
The evidence in this case will show that on the night of August 25th, 2020, here in our community of Kenosha, the defendant, Kyle Rittenhouse, who was 17 years old at the time, had armed himself with an AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle loaded with 30 rounds in the magazine. And using that rifle, he shot and killed Joseph Rosenbaum, an unarmed man. The shot that killed Mr. Rosenbaum was a shot to the back. There will be no dispute in this record that the defendant had that gun that night, shot 8 bullets. 4 of them hit Joseph Rosenbaum, 2 of them at an unknown individual, 1 into Anthony Huber's chest, and 1 into Gage Grosskreuz's arm. That will not be in dispute. The central issue in this case is going to be self-defense. Was it reasonable for the defendant to believe that the force was necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself? We need to keep in mind the fact that there were hundreds of people on the street that night experiencing the same chaos, the same loud noises, the same gunfire, the same arson, the same tear gas, the same hostile confrontations with people who believe the opposite of them. And yet, out of these hundreds of people, only one person killed anyone that night. Only one person shot anyone that night. When we consider the reasonableness of the defendant's actions, I ask you to keep that in mind. Actions. I ask you to keep that in mind.
We have 2 very different outlooks on the events of August 25th of 2020. Mr. Binger makes a big thing out of Kyle Rittenhouse was the only person who shot somebody that evening. True. Mr. Rittenhouse was the only person who was chased by Joseph Rosenbaum that evening. You'll hear testimony, not just from Kyle Rittenhouse, but Balch, Mr. Balch, about Joseph Rosenbaum stating to Kyle and to Ryan Balch in each other's presence, if I get either of you 2 alone, I'm going to kill you. Flat out threats to murder. When Mr. Rosenbaum is shot in the car source lot 3, there's been a gunshot behind Kyle. He turns to address Mr. Rosenbaum with his firearm. Mr. Rosenbaum is not deterred. He continues to run. He acted in self-defense, ladies and gentlemen. The evidence will show that his actions on August 25th of 2020 were reasonable under the circumstances as they existed that night, being attacked by Mr. Rosenbaum. Kyle Rittenhouse protected himself, protected his firearm so it couldn't be taken, used against him or other people from Mr. Rosenbaum who'd made threats to kill. And the other individuals who didn't see that shooting attacked him in the street like an animal.
I'm waiting for all the facts to come out in this case. I'm waiting for all the facts to come out in this case. But if you saw the judge, y'all notice what the judge was doing when he was, hold on.
I ask you to keep that in mind.
The judge is digging. The judge looks like he's digging for, hold on, let me share it. Judge looked like he was digging his drawers out of his ass with this one, doesn't it? He didn't care. Let me get this out of my butt crack. Now, that's the ADA, and this, of course, that's the judge. I'll talk about him in a minute. But the defense attorney Richards. Now, this was reported on Yahoo News, but it's entitled Kyle Rittenhouse's trial opened with his lawyer saying the N-word twice in court. Kyle Rittenhouse's defense attorney said the N-word twice in court on Tuesday during opening statements in the trial that were focused on whether the team was justified in shooting 3 men during racial unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. District Attorney Thomas Binger said in his opening statements that Rittenhouse's use of force was unnecessary. But Mark Richards, a member of Rittenhouse's defense team, said the teen had been forced to defend himself from Joseph Rosenbaum, one of the slain men. To drive his point home, Richards showed the jury a clip that depicts Rosenbaum taunting others on the night of his death. "Shoot me," Rosenbaum says in the video before adding the N-word. He then says the same phrase, ending again with the N-word. "Bust on me for real," he then says. A little more than a minute later, while referring to the clip, Richards repeats Rosenbaum's words in the video, including the 2 instances of Rosenbaum saying the N-word. Richards spent most of his opening statement to the jury painting Rittenhouse as someone who had close ties to Kenosha and wanted to lend a hand to the community. He said multiple times that Rittenhouse went to Kenosha armed to help defend a local business and that his client didn't want confrontation or trouble. Now, the only thing with Rittenhouse, and here's the thing with that, it had already been established that, number one, the weapon that was used was not his weapon. That was illegally obtained. Now, and let me clarify, I'm not licensed in Wisconsin, and for purposes of this commentary, this doesn't create an attorney-client relationship. And that's another, now, his mother drives him. I'm trying to figure out how, he goes to Kenosha, but he's originally from Illinois. So my understanding, and now this is not illegal. Is it illegal for someone to drive all the way from whatever small town in Illinois that he's from to Kenosha, Wisconsin? Not illegal, but you're doing all of this, if I'm not mistaken, this is on a school night. 17 years old. Your mom drives him, his mom drives him all the way there. Has no license to carry. Well, you don't need a license to carry an AR-15 per se, but still, this was, he's under the age of 18, and this is not his weapon. That's a violation of Wisconsin law. He showed up. Yeah, if he had been in Wisconsin, in Illinois, none of this was happening. Well, let me just say this. What the defense attorney is essentially doing is what any defense attorney will do when you have a self-defense claim. You try to put the victims on trial and to make your client look like the victim. So in other words, you're saying your client who's being charged with murder or intentional homicide in the first degree is not the aggressor, he's the victim. And he did this in self-defense. So I can understand what he is doing in that instance. Why did he mention the N-word is another thing. Now, this is Yahoo News, and of course, I don't care for Yahoo. Y'all know I don't care about these news magazines and companies from the left because they have a propaganda machine that they try to fix on you and a fix on the American people. And I think we should all wait until the evidence comes out. But when I looked at it, it looks like they're saying that, from what it looks like, Richards was quoting Rosenbaum's words to Rittenhouse. Now, I didn't recall hearing that on video, and I'm sure they will play it again. But all that being said, the trial is going to come out. We're going to hear. We've seen what happened in the video. Why is this kid, 17 years old, in Kenosha, Wisconsin? What tie? I'm trying to figure out what ties to the community directly does he have with Kenosha. So all of that is going to come out. If he lives in Illinois, you're telling me he drives all the way out to Kenosha, or practically, I don't know, or every weekend, and hangs with the businessmen and people out there? Right. How did he get out there? His mother drives him. But then this judge, and I'm going to. And again, it's still from Yahoo News, but it's quoted by the AP. Bruce Schroeder drew laughs in courtroom and some cringes on social media as he peppered potential jurors with trivia questions and offered commentary on some. When the answer to one was the movie Psycho, the 75-year-old Schroeder quipped, "You've heard of it." So he did Jeopardy-like trivia with potential jurors to reach back to the gravity of their duty. So I'm just reading this. One potential juror told Schroeder that he had nasal surgery scheduled in 10 days. The judge asked him, what would you rather do, be here with me or have your nose operated on? The man responded, I'll be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to it. The judge laughed and said he would take it under consideration. The tenor of Monday's hearing was no surprise to one attorney who has appeared before Schroeder. He said Michael Chicheny, a Kenosha-based defense attorney, said the beginning of jury selection can be a logistical nightmare. Attorneys are handed seating charts and other paperwork as jurors are let in, and they need time to get organized. Schroeder traditionally spends that time playing trivia with the jury pool until the attorneys are ready, he said. So judges are, think of it this way, guys. And yes, I know that the judge ruled out recently the use of the terms victim that can't be used in front of the jury, and those things can't come in. I think some other stuff he says that he can't come in. But apparently this is some things that, from what this lawyer Chicheny is stating, is that he does typically. Judges are umpires. They can conduct their courtroom as they see fit. And that, they are, as the umpires, they can do that. And their job too also is to ensure that a defendant does have a fair trial. Having said all of that, just because they have to ensure that the law is applied properly and ensure that fairness and impartiality is supposed to take place, that does not mean he has to take sides, and should not be interpreted as that he should take sides with the defense in everything. So I think this is something that everybody needs to be paying attention to and take a look at. I will we'll continue talking about and monitoring it. What's interesting? We're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. We haven't heard back, especially, they just started under the Georgia trial that's going on with Ahmaud Arbery's killers. I haven't heard anything about that recently. Have you? In the last week? Yeah, but he wasn't at a gun range. He wasn't. I mean, if you want to say he was hunting, but hunting is for animals, not humans, or at their home. I mean, look, people are saying that just a lawyer, I'm just trying to be careful with my words because talking on a legal topic, like this, but we saw the video, and there may be more footage. Obviously, that the jury is going to see things we don't see. I know that media tries to direct people to be in a certain way, but no, he should not have been out there from the beginning. In my opinion, he would not. I don't see what the need was bringing him out there if you were his mother driving him with a gun to go defend some property. Even if that may be legal. And see, and that's another thing. There's a difference between doing something legal and there's a difference between doing something immoral. Things that we do immorally necessarily don't arrive to the level, or rise, I should say, to the level of illegality. You tell a lie, that is not illegal, but it is immoral. However, if you tell a lie under oath, that's breaking the law. We'll see, man. A way to set up, I think he might walk. Just by what I'm looking at from preliminary, the evidence that they have, if they are able to prove, they got to be able to, the defense has the burden. If they're asserting a self-defense claim, they have to prove that his life was in danger and that the threat of bodily harm or death was imminent. And that is the key. I know Tariq, and I'm a little pressed for time. I won't show all the videos because I've actually shown some Kyle Rittenhouse videos before, but Tariq has shown videos of Kyle Rittenhouse punching a woman. Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, and y'all saw, just look at I gotta get to the next topic, but I want you to pay attention. Look at the comments. This is just how people feel. I've shown you comments before and likes and dislikes about how people feel about mainstream media, but look at the likes to dislikes from the Washington Post. 66 likes to 135 dislikes. One guy wrote, "Why is there even a trial? We all saw it happen from different angles. Let the kid go." I seen a guy chasing a guy with a gun to attack him. Go, Kyle. I know you got this. Laugh out loud. They absolutely failed and clearly lied. Kyle should be a national hero for standing up to those peaceful protesters. He needs a statue. An American boy legend stands up to communist useful idiots. And I want y'all to pay attention as you guys see. Here's my thing, and I'm going to say this in closing. We should not, while I think we should pay attention to this, don't you guys choose a side on this. Rittenhouse killed white people. Notice the names Rosenbaum. The people that were out there protesting, believe it or not, were mostly whites. We're not running, it shows you we're not running the show. So it's not that I'm defending him or anything like that. I'm just speaking from my legal perspective and just what I know and see with these operations that they're running. We better be careful about what sides we want to take and just watch and see what happens. Because this was white on white crime. And honestly, that's the main reason why he's on trial. When they do something to each other that bad, they're going to go on trial for it. And it was caught on video, so everybody saw it. So we'll find out. You said that they're really having a hard time trying to remove black folks from the jury. You talking about Ahmaud Arbery? Yeah. Of course they're mad. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, gentlemen. But we're going to continue to monitor this case. If you love this channel, please also donate to the Cash App, Gavin Richard Esquire at the bottom. And shout out to Black Voltron, Darius, Knight Rider, all my people that are in here. Computer Robots, Davita Jenkins. If I don't mention your names, it's my head, not my heart. DeAndre, Shout out to all y'all. So let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on because I said how they try to trick us. Now, this is something I got in the mail today, and I get these often, but these are these little, I'm sure you guys get this because today is election day, right? So this is Austin Van. This is not me promoting them, but we get these all the time around election year. They'll pass out these pamphlets, these flyers, and mail them so that they can try and get you to vote. And you have Austin Van Dawn, who's running for criminal clerk district court, and you got this here. I want y'all to pay close attention. This is called the Soul Ballot. All right, the Soul. It's called the Soul Ballot. So, and Soul, which is Don C. Hubbard, who's from New Orleans, he created that. It stands for Southern. It stands for Southern Organization for Unified Leadership. So its basis is to support, and when it was created in 1967 by Don C. Hubbard, it was designed to support Black Americans who were running for political office. Now, in and of itself, it doesn't mean nothing. I mean, it's not harmful when you say that, and especially when you look at the time it was created. That's Don Hubbard, by the way. He was a member of CORE and led civil rights demonstrations in the 1960s. Now, here's the problem with, I don't know Mr. Hubbard, and Don Hubbard actually is he was an entrepreneur. Now I'm looking at this. This is interesting. He owned the largest 100% black-owned, 100% black-owned and operated services company in America called Superdome Services Incorporated. He also served as president and a major stockholder of Louisiana Sports Incorporated while working as a vice president of managing and promoting. He was a promoter, a fight promoter. He promoted the Muhammad Ali Leon Spinks rematch that was in Louisiana. It was in New Orleans because at that time, you know, Ali was trying to get his third world title, and that was big. So I'm not trying to knock the man personally. He's obviously accomplished a lot. But when I see these things, and, you know, the people who are, let me just show you too, the members of Soul, the founders, where it was created, the agent. It's a nonprofit. It's been around for 53 years, from 1968. So Don C. Hubbard, Emmanuel, I see Don C. Hubbard. I see Emmanuel Smith, Leroy Hartley, and Sherman Copeland are the directors and officers of this company, of this nonprofit. I shouldn't say company. Okay, so you see that there. The problem with these, and I'm going to answer your question, DeAndre, about LaToya Cantrell. When you see things like Soul, just like we saw Fox Soul, Soul Ballot, Souls to the Polls, these movements, the problem with all of these guys is while they blindly support Black leadership, all your skin folk ain't your kinfolk. And to that I mean, you can have a person, and I'm being real, as dark as Wesley Snipes, be in a White House or be in the mayor's office. If they do not produce an agenda that is going to be beneficial to the community, then you're essentially voting a candidate who endorses a racist white supremacist platform. Or at worst, or at best, it's a do-nothing burger. To answer your question, DeAndre, I'm going to get to it. But LaToya Cantrell, I wouldn't be surprised if she did get reelected, although I think it might be close. You know, they have some other candidates. I met some people here personally. I wouldn't, you know, I don't care for her because I think that for the last 4 years, she did very little for this area in New Orleans East, like they've continued to do so, because they have to answer to the people on Bourbon Street. You know, the people that live downtown, the people uptown, the business owners, the bourbon elite, as I call them, they're the ones that ultimately make and guide the decisions. Look at what happened with Hurricane Ida. She would not call a mandatory evacuation. She claims that there wasn't enough time. Well, you better make time. Because of that, people were out of their homes for weeks, months. And so insurance companies didn't want to cover your expenses and expenditures. Why? Because no mandatory evacuation was called. If there's no mandatory evacuation called in the area, we don't have to follow. Now, the insurance commissioner says otherwise because people were ordered not to come back that they need to, but they're still fighting this. You know, the other mayoral candidates, I actually was at a forum. I was at a forum a few weeks back, and I saw some non-independents that were running, like Matthew Hill. He ran in 2017. I liked a lot of what he was saying. You got Lillian Heno, who's running, Reginald Merchant, Byron Cole, Manny Bruno. Well, I want y'all to look at the list. This is what we got going on in New Orleans. Okay. We have literally over, let's see, Noonie Man, 5, 7, I'm sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 15 people running for mayor's race. And TD, LaToya Cantrell, is the one that's most known. And I'll be honest with you, because she's popular, because she's TD, because that phase 2 video I would not be surprised if she got reelected, because I see a lot of people that don't want, you know, they don't want to have a white mayor again. And I feel that there are some people who don't want a black mayor, but I don't think we have any strong. There are no strong white candidates that are in this race that I know of. You know, I thought Helena Moreno, who is the president of the city council, she would have ran. She likely would have had a good chance of winning. But, you know, then again, you never know. But, you know, my main thing is they've continued to ignore the New Orleans East area. I'm looking at this city council's race. You got Oliver Thomas, you got Vanessa Garringer, you have Cindy Wynn, who are running again. And, you know, honestly, I'll put it to you like this. I'm tired of having the same old people. If you look, Knight Rider, let me just say this to y'all, at all of the major cities, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, Atlanta, New Orleans, Chicago, what do they all have in common? They have black women who are the chief executive officers of that city. They're Democrat, and yet they are failing. Even in Baton Rouge, we have Sharon Western Broom. A lot of people, I don't know so much if people are happy with her or anything like that, but, you know, these cities, you know, they're pushing an agenda, and that agenda is not for the African American community. Yeah, when she tried to move City Hall, that could hurt her. I think this thing with Ida could have hurt her too. It may hurt her. It honestly depends. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know any other candidate other than Cantrell. I might go in there and vote Noonie Man. I don't know, or I may not vote at all. I'm just trying. I had somebody, my neighbor was trying to get me to tell me, we were talking politics and saying, who you gonna vote for? I said, man, I don't even know. And I'm so sick of this, I may not vote. He said, no, don't do that, because we got people that died for us to go in there. I said, they didn't die for me to be no bitch either. They didn't die for us to be punk. They died for us to be, they fought for us to be independent too, to be smart, to think for yourself. I'm tired of hearing that. Yet when old people start talking, you got to go out, man. Get the hell out of here. That shit. You better go out there. That's why the old generation loses the younger generation, because you talk down to them instead of talking to them. Try talking to me and explain to me why I should vote for this person or do this, do that. I'm not against voting. I think we should be registered to vote, especially to. Well, let me say that I did a video about that, DeAndre, about that decision on the Six Flag fight site. They actually, they're only going to tell you half the story. They approved it, but they got more stuff to do in different phases. And according to what Troy Henry even said, while they gave it to them, they gave part of the acres to that Six Flags site to Drew Brees, about 100 acres. I see my friend John Winthrop is watching. He said he voted Luther Vandross down. Luther? Well, what you gonna do about it? But look, y'all, let's go ahead and let's go live. This is election day. I want to look at these results. You know, they got this race in Virginia that's happening, and I'm laughing at this because this might throw at the oh, look at this. Minneapolis residents vote against replacing the city's police department with a Department of Public Safety. So they're against replacing the police. How many of those were your allies?
We do want to go out and dip into Eric Adams, the mayor-elect in New York, who's given his acceptance speech. Let's listen.
If you're in Flatbush in the Korean community, if you're in Sunset Park in the Chinese community, if you're in Rockaway, if you're out in Queens in the Dominican community, Washington Heights, all of you have that power to fuel us. We are so divided right now. And we're missing the beauty of our diversity. We have to end all of this division of who we are, where we go to worship, what do we wear. No, today we take off the intramural jersey and we put on one jersey, Team New York.
Another Dave Dinkins. I don't know how. Sean's talked about Dinkins and not in a positive way. But let me go back and play it.
So New York City,
got the Jewish community behind him.
And I just need to pause for a moment because it's so important for me to do this. 5 people I must acknowledge, and I'm going to acknowledge all of you within time, but there's 5 people I must acknowledge. First is my sister, Ingrid Martin. Where's Ingrid?
Eric Adams there giving a victory speech, Kristen, and we were talking about that earlier.
Wait, he's not married? He's not married? He acknowledged his sister first?
I think he might be, and he is one of the people who's shaping the debate around policing, which is one of the issues that we've been.
Not just because he's the mayor of New York City, of course, needs cameos in your favorite New York City-based TV shows, right?
Right.
But I think he must be a player in national politics.
I think he might be, and he is one of the people who's shaping the debate around policing, which is one of the issues that we've been talking about, that we've been thinking about. And this is someone who's a former police captain who has said that he wants to give more resources to the police department there in New York.
All right, that's
and
enough.
so I think he's one to watch. There you heard him talk.
I've seen enough. I've seen enough. Lord, he wants to give more resources to the police. That's enough. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. John says, Team New York, violence. I can tell. It's a red flag when he didn't have a ring on his finger. I shouldn't say that because I'm not married, but he shouted out his sister first. I'm like, whoa. First person you always shout out is the missus. I wonder if it's a Mr. I don't even want to know. But let's look at some other races, guys. I'm about to get out of here because I gotta.
To pitch black.
Scenes from Broadway's unique struggle with COVID.
89% are in, and it's like Glenn Youngkin
New York City's economy
is beating Terry
The
McAuliffe.
sound team, the lighting team, everyone.
The world does not realize how big this is.
This is how we make money.
This is a specialized industry. You don't tell a doctor, go get a serving job. Like, why are we different?
Are we going to be able to pay our rent? Am I going to have food?
What will happen in Broadway's new opening act?
We're in uncharted waters again.
The show must go on.
There is reason to hope again.
I think people are going to be crying. I know I will.
An originals documentary on CBSN. Stream now.
Everything was on fire.
You're left making decisions you don't want to make.
If we're at war at fire, we're going to spend a lot of money, we're going to take a lot of casualties, and we're going to lose.
But we got to do something about it.
McAuliffe is losing to Youngkin. Now,
If it's important to our nation,
The country is facing yet another unprecedented crisis.
it's on Face the Nation.
You heard the president. Where do you think this stalemate goes from here?
Making politics make sense.
What do you think happened here?
The why behind the
now y'all
biggest
know what's
stories.
happening,
Face the
and
Nation with
Professor
Margaret Brennan
Blacktruth
on CBS.
Hold on, let me pause. Let me mute this. All right. Professor Blacktruth had this up on Twitter. I'm going to put the video back up because I want to see who's winning an election day, but I'm about to run out of here in 5 minutes. But this is an article Professor Blacktruth put up. Hell no, I don't want. If he wins, he'll likely have to take Hispanic and Asian voters. Now, this is a Republican. Yeah, no tangibles, no vote. You better give me something for my vote. You got to give us something for our vote. That's just real. A political Don Lemon. That's what he is. Eric Adams. I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to attack his. Not trying to attack him, what his preference is or whatever it is. I don't know anything about him, man. He's probably okay. So he's not married, but he has. So wait, he's not married, but I'm looking at this. Okay. He's the 18th borough president of Brooklyn. He's a retired police officer, and he was the first Brooklyn borough president of African American descent to hold that position. And what I'm looking at, okay, he has a domestic partner, Tracy Collins, and one child. But still, he didn't shout her out. Still, I would have shot. You gotta shout out your lady, man. Okay, so he's, I don't know, but yeah. So Adams, I'm looking at his campaign. He opposed New York's stop and frisk policy during his state Senate tenure, but during his 2021 campaign, he supported it. He says, if you have a police department where you're saying you can't stop and question, that is not a responsible form of policing. Okay, so this is a I don't know, but it looks like the Dems are going to be taking a lot of L's. This is what, and just so you know, because I'm not lying, I'm looking this up on his Wikipedia page. They have the links here that he openly supported stop and frisk. You heard him on MSNBC even say he was open to not defunding the police, and he's pro-police all the way. So Decepticon like Andrew Bussy Maddock Gilliam. Man, Yanko. I can't say. I can't confirm or deny whether he is a Bussy Maddock Gilliam. Another one. What's this?
Get started, but when you see the final thing, it's like you feel happy.
She works for Gelberg Signs. Over the last 8 decades, their designs have become iconic in the nation's capital. Instead of cutting back when the pandemic hit their business, they grew nearly 20%.
So it's risk, right? And that's business. We were saying, you're amazing, you're creative, you have what we need. We know you just lost a job. We can bring you on.
Many of those hires were women. And while women only make up about 10% of construction and fabrication jobs, Gelberg's staff is nearly double that. And in many departments, women are the boss.
Women are often innate teachers. They want the people around them to understand. They want the people around them to feel capable to rise to the next level.
By bringing in more women, what has that gained your business?
We've gained a company culture that understands different situations, that can read different situations, that is empathetic.
A culture showing change can be good for business. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, we'll have more results and analysis from election night 2021, including the latest on the tight race for Virginia governor. Streaming CBS and CBS News, always on.
I'm hoping Youngkin wins. Honestly, they need to take a loss.
An original documentary on CBSN.
We need to put an end.
I want Youngkin to win.
Create a better
Because
Puerto
Obama
Rico.
was out there protesting. Hold on, let me mute this.
Quality of life that you see in the States.
Barack was out there supporting him, endorsing him. Biden has been endorsing him. And when former President Obama was out there talking about what he could and couldn't do, I was like, nah, partner. Y'all take this L. I'm going to declare this. It looks like the Dems are taking a lot of losses. This is going to be Bloody Tuesday. Sean James talked about this he's talked about this a lot of times on our platform about how the Dems will take losses in this election. And it looks like it might be the case. People are frustrated. And, you know, that could backfire. Wait till next year when the Senate and when the congressional seats are up. That's really going to be what's telling. But seeing this and what's happening in your local races, people not interested in what they've been getting.
This is how we make money. This is a specialized industry. You don't tell a doctor, go get a serving job. You just, why are we different?
Are we going to be able to pay our rent? Am I going to have food?
What will happen in Broadway's new opening act?
They forgot to recount ballots.
The show must go on.
There is reason to hope again. I think people are going to be
Absolutely, Bishop.
An originals documentary on CBS.
But here's the thing, and this is where I have the issue, especially with some of the elders. They make it look like the right to vote was the only thing that our ancestors fought for. And that is not the case. Yes, they did fight for the right to vote. They fought for the right also for you to own land, to own property, to be able to travel wherever you want to go without the threat of violence, for you to have a business. We have ancestors like that who want to pass down generational wealth. We had ancestors like, I can mention the businessmen like and businesswomen like Madam C.J. Walker, or you could talk about the first black millionaire, Jeremiah Hamilton, who was a stockbroker. Those men like that, those are people I admire because they wanted to try and do something. We look at what happened in Tulsa. And I think that's where where the old generation and new generation gets lost. They keep focusing and harping on marching with Dr. King and how we fought for the right to vote. That's fine that you fought for the right to vote, but what about the right to buy property? What about the right to have a bunch of businesses in the same area where you can build your community also at the same time? That's the thing I don't see.
And they require the consent of a divided U.S. Congress. How do you convince Republicans and even some Democrats to get behind more spending if they look at this conference and say, China isn't meeting these global goals, Russia doesn't intend to meet these global goals, why should we?
Because we want to be able to breathe and we want to be able to lead the world. But the fact that China trying to assert, understandably, a new role in the world as a world leader, not showing up. Come on, same with Putin. He has serious climate problems.
All right.
And he is.
I said I was going to keep it to how I went over,
I feel confident we're going to get done what we have to do at home.
Yet at home, his party is still struggling to lock in the votes for Mr. Biden's Build Back Better plan, which includes $500 billion worth of climate measures.
The White House knew exactly where I stood.
Today, Senator Joe Manchin from the coal state of West Virginia said he still has concerns that need to be addressed, as another group of Democrats struck a deal on a big new provision that would enable Medicare to negotiate with pharmaceutical companies to bring down drug prices. It would also cap out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors at $2,000 a year.
Many of us would have wanted to go much further, but it's a big step in helping the American people deal with the price of drugs.
This compromise proposal would only apply to a handful of very expensive drugs at first, but still it would be the first time that Medicare was able to negotiate to bring down drug prices. President Biden said he is still confident that Manchin and any other holdouts will get behind the bill in the end. But
all right, I'm done with this. Guys, I've been on long enough. I gotta get to it, but it's been great. A great night tonight. We're gonna monitor this and do a follow up on Thursday when Sean comes on. Absolutely, you vote for your resources. Right? And I'll just say this in closing. I do have people I know personally who are friends who are running for local office and so forth. I have no problem in supporting them and voting for them in that regard. But I don't believe in just voting blindly just cause. No, I don't believe that. You got to use it as treat it as a business and use it as such. Otherwise, you're going to be left out and laughed at, and that's what we continue to get with these politicians. At any rate, guys, this has been another edition of G-Boot 2786. Gavin Richard presents on channel G-Boot 2786 on Gavin Richard on Facebook and on Periscope. If you love this channel, please donate to the Cash App. You see it at the bottom, Gavin Richard Esquire, or at the PayPal, gavin.grich1@gmail.com. Also, you can subscribe to the Patreon. We have that here. And I know I am a lawyer, and of course I didn't talk like it tonight at times, but I'm uncensored with my stuff. I go off. It don't matter. You can check out the Patreon. You can also advertise me. Hit me up on my channel if you like to advertise on this channel for rates. We can do that. And yes, pick up some Creole seasoning. If you have not, you can order Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawny's goes great with every dish. All right, DeAndre, I'm gonna see you Thursday too. Yeah, but Carver Theater, you bring them back. I've been in touch with them to actually try and do something recently, so I'm trying to do that. In the meantime, guys, I also want you to look at Video Soul. Check that out. That's on Amazon, Spotify, and iTunes. And of course, our theme song, "Gotta Get On Up," which is available on the same networks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be out. Let me get on, guys, because I got someone that wants to watch Chucky with me. I'm watching that latest episode. We got on down. It's time to get on up. That's right, Darius. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you Thursday. Peace and blessings. We'll monitor this bloodbath.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop. I'll do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so, if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Get on up, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
His politics don't look good, Bishop, from what I'm seeing. But good night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back Thursday on channel G Boot 2786. I'll holla. Peace.